Speaking. 1, 2, 3. Speaking. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Mic check. I can't tell what the quality of this is. Hey, chatter, tell me. What is the quality of my microphone? Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna grab my headphones real quick so I can hear the music. Or I guess I could just use these. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Ba, ba, ba. Testing. Okie dokie. Okay, looks and sounds to me. Oh, nice. Thank you. I could be a bit louder. Let's see. Input volume is at 100%. Blah, blah, blah. Testing. Testing. Yeah, I have no way to test this, unfortunately. But I put the input volume at 100. Okay. I'm just going to go with this. Locking the volume. And if you guys have a problem hearing me, or if it's kind of annoying and I'm really soft because I'm very soft spoken, just let me know. Nice, got a comment. Let me know and I'll fix it up. This is a brand new microphone for me, so I'm still getting used to the settings and I don't know exactly what the perfect setting is. Okay, So the thing that you see on the screen is not actually what we're going to be working on today. Obviously, this is a part 2. This is a commission, and every time I look at it, I see more and more details that need to be fixed up. So that's not what this is. We're going to be opening this one. See, I just barely got started on this last time. Oh my gosh, I don't like his hat. I barely got started on this last time. I spent a lot of time just talking to viewers and not really focusing too much. By the way, this is what my sound is while I'm leaning into the microphone. I'm obviously not going to be able to do that while I'm drawing, so let me just get adjusted better. Okay. So this is what it's going to sound like while I'm drawing. I'm going to do my best to speak up. I wonder if I put this in front of me, would it be better? Like I said, I'm going to do my best to speak up, and let me know if there's a problem. It's just hard for me, and my voice tends to get pretty quiet. Okay, so now looking at some of the references that I've got. I can't find the marker. I can't find this. Oh, and I'll take this. Okay, let's get started. Alright, so today we're going to be just chilling and talking about some art-related things. What it's like, well, I think I touched on what it was like to be an art student, some unreasonable expectations, kind of like the direction they push you towards in school. That's because they want to get their tuition money back. they want to push you into a career that's going to make the most money or make the most sense. And it involves a lot of risk taking and strategy that I didn't have a lot of energy for at the time. Finding what inspires you is very delicate. You can think that you're forcing yourself into being inspired and not actually be inspired and burn yourself out. And I really think that they don't let artists know about that, because you can be burnt out in school, right, and still write an essay that's pretty okay, or still do math problems that are pretty fair and pretty nice. I don't know, like they're accurate, right? But when you're making art, it comes from inside of you. It needs to be authentic. It's being scrutinized and judged based on what it presents. And when you don't present something good, if you don't have anything good to put in. And I just really wish that my professors would put emphasis in the fact that I can't just throw my mental health out the window and still make good art. That's what's so hard about being an artist. That's what's so hard about art school is you can't not be doing good and still make good art. You can make art, but it's not going to strike anybody. It's not going to be good for your portfolio, unless it's very technical. And I really did excel in technical art this year. Wow, Pinterest is so full of really cool images, especially like this. Okay. So let me just pull out crappy OBS. So I like how these stars are going, but here. Look at that! That's what I really want to push towards. Let's see if we can do it. You can hear me, but only barely. That's so odd because in my headphones this is so quiet. Okay, so you can hear me but barely. I don't understand. I don't understand. I have input volume at full %. Gonna test my microphone real quick. Test, test, test. Test, 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 test. Test, 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 test. It says that I'm fine now. That's interesting. Oh, okay, I see. Thanks for letting me know. Hey, Cody. What's up, guys? So today we're going to be talking about a lot of different things. I want to talk about story times, like how some stories that I had of producing art in art school, some ways that it was challenging, and some ways that it really helped me out. And then I do want to talk a bit more because a lot of the Omnia situation has come out a bit more lately, and this isn't really a drama channel, but I think it's like a good example of how to not be a not good artist. Wait, it's a good example of what not to do when you're trying to be a courteous artist. You know, using art as a platform, stuff like that. Things that I really have to consider a lot to myself. I'm not big on anything, but it was really important for me to kind of figure a bit of this stuff out as I was considering how my painting would affect media, because that was like a really big part of school, was what you're trying to say in a painting, how is it's gonna affect, you know, people around you and the people that look at it, if anyone looks at it. I think it kind of applies here on social media a lot, so I wanted to talk about that. I don't know too much more about what's happening, so I was actually going to research a little bit of it on stream after I think the halfway point, because like I said, that's not the main focus of this, but I did want to touch on it because I think it's important. And then for the first part of this, we're just gonna vibe and chat, and I really want to respond to you guys if you want to have a conversation with me and cool stuff like that. Okay, so and then let me get this started on real quick. Really get going on this painting. Oh man, I love these colors. How can we implement these colors? Come on. I swear to you guys, I'm gonna end up with like 60 layers. This always happens. You know, the way that I see it, right? Come on. Okay, so the way that I see it, you can always delete layers, or not delete layers, so you can always merge layers down. You can't always make these things into new layers when you need them to be. So I just make a bunch of layers if I feel like I'm doing something risky. I wish I had that brush. Oh my gosh, I wish I had that brush that was like a fog brush, a cloudy brush. Okay. So, this stream is gonna be a bit rambly. I was thinking about things to talk about, really, and it was really hard for me to come up with, like, a concrete, like, script or something to speak about. So, what I really wanted to do instead was just bring up topics and talk to you guys about how I felt about them, and, because these are some things that I got asked a bit by, some younger artists whenever I have chats with people online, and they're like, you know, should I go to art school, and should I attempt to be an influential artist, and what is it like to go to art school and to consider these things. And I think the number one thing that I would have to say is like sort out where you draw your energy from, and if you're in an art school, you can't get by without having that source of energy and inspiration. So number one thing that I would really consider is not spending your energy on useless things, and then try to come up with things that will bring energy to you. Like, not in a, but like I literally mean that too. Like introverts, I'm an introvert, and I spent so much unnecessary time trying to speak with people because I felt so lonely, and trying to force it, and getting so stressed out and so tired and drained by it, when I could just relax, save that energy, work on art, and let people approach me. Oh. There's an Amber Alert. I think it might be for flooding. So if my internet cuts out, we're getting really big storms, so it shouldn't be anything crazy. Okay. No. Maybe. I'm trying to figure out how to get these yellows in here, you know? Ooh, that looks like a neat way to get yellows. Yeah, I just don't know how really to bring these in. It's really difficult. I think the main thing is like it's really glowy around here, so maybe I could actually take a color dodge. This is color dodge. Maybe I could take some color dodge and make it nice and glowy around. Less wet, perhaps. Yeah. Sorry, like I said, I'm streaming often because I really want to learn how to stream better. And so, if I'm making any mistakes or there's some pauses, it's because A, I'm really not confident in what's going on here. And then B, I'm learning, so give me some patience. Most streamers don't end up doing stuff like this while they're streaming. Well, you know what? They game. They do game. A lot of streamers game. I don't know how they do that. I think it's an art form, probably. And then a lot of art streams that I see, they're not really talking. Like, a lot of art streams don't talk. A lot of them do. So, that's another thing. But the whole point of me streaming is so that I can chat with people. Otherwise, you know, like, why am I showing you guys a stream? I could just record it for a video. But I wanted something for you guys to see while I'm chatting with you. And I also think that perhaps sometime down the line I can do a stream that is so intense on a topic and then do a pre-recorded painting for you guys so I could just focus on chat and talking. And where's my chat? Here it is. Cool. Oh, that's cool. You're from Volin? I had no idea. I actually don't know where most people come from here. The music college I go to ended up taking away a little the magic of making music for me because I really only focus on being a very successful person, and I agree with that. Yes, I agree. So I had a lot of professors who thought badly of the art education industry. They recognize that you need to go to art college to get certain jobs in the art industry. But my college professor, one of my favorite professors, when I told her I was like struggling so much, she was basically like, yeah, leave it to art school to make somebody as passionate as you second guess themselves. And I was like, oh yeah, that pretty much sums it up. And now, whenever I talk about this, I always talk about the negatives of art school. I don't think negatively of art school. Maybe I'm in denial, who knows? And I really just don't think negatively of art school. I think art school is great and it can be beneficial. I just don't think people really set you up for like the right expectations. What am I doing here? Somebody tell me, what am I doing? I don't know. I just don't have any of the brushes that I'm used to. I'm trying to compensate for it a bit. Like I said, this is a new computer, and like the brushes that I got on this on Photoshop were accumulated over years and years and years, so I just have no idea where to find them again. Oh, you know what? This is turning out a bit. This is turning out okay. I'm going to rely heavily on the blender from now on. Not over blending it, but this is called an impressionist blender, so it leaves a bit of texture too, which is really nice. And then I could probably use a smooth blender and whatever needs blended smoother. Thanks so much. I really appreciate you guys being here. I really should have done more. I really should have done more research on the Omnia situation beforehand. I think we might go onto Twitter. I know, the cursed website. Take a look at some of the takes happening, because I looked at it from a glance while I was getting ready, making the thumbnail for this live stream, and I had some opinions, but I was like, well, I can't go into these opinions until I think more about it. But then I had to eat lasagna, so so I didn't have as much time to like go into it thoroughly. The main thing is I heard that a lot of like conversations around what's been going on in the art community have been like so drowned out by certain dramas, which I really wish the art community could just go back to a day where it wasn't all just drama, right? I hate that. Like, I remember the days where someone would crack open their sketchbook and show you paintings of butterflies that they did when they were 12, and then they'd redo those paintings again, and it was so pretty, and they'd send you some inspirational message about, like, you know, doing your thing. But now, the only really successful art channels that I see that are like personable, they're just talking about how somebody else screwed up their art career, and talking about how like this person made drama and this person did that, and I'm not liking it. And for a long time I was like, let's go back to the good old days, you know, let's do this. But I kind of thought that, what if I just took, like, I took the vibes of the good old days, and I took these situations that were happening, and not the silly ones, not the ones that are like, oh, she said, he said, but like, you know, the serious ones, and made it more about how you can use this as an example to reflect on yourself. Being a little bit more fair, because everybody has this hot goss like takedown style, and you know, I actually love these people who are doing it. I watch them a lot. They're not bad people. I don't think they're wrong. It's just not my preference, and I think that it's kind of a dog eat dog thing that's going on more and more often in the art community. And it's sad to see, because I'd like some juicy content that didn't involve ruining someone's life or exposing someone for ruining their own life or something like that, you know? Right? And I actually, well, I mean, I'm up and coming, right? I'm not big influential. So just because my videos don't do well, that don't have to do with drama, doesn't mean that those videos aren't going to do well. It just means that I'm a small channel. But I wish that we didn't have to do it like this, you know? I wish that we had some more content. So I've actually seen types of channels that will do these big epic builds. Like, okay, so I'm getting into, I know this channel is everything, but is everywhere, but I'm getting into like Minecraft builds from paintings. That's like my next video is going to be building a giant tree castle, and I'm halfway done with it, from a painting that I did. You know, doing some fun challenges like that. I actually see some people do that, and they're kind of pretty successful. Draw with Jazza is still doing content like that, and he's still making good views. Oh my gosh, same! I love Drawfee. They're amazing! But see, like, not everybody is down for drama. Not everybody is dramatic. It's just that the things that make big splashes in the algorithm as a new content creator have always been, for me, drama centered. And then I try not to take the whole bait, and I try to be like a little bit different, more original with it, and not just, oh, this person sucks, they're the worst, you know. That doesn't give this person the benefit of the doubt at all, or showcases it as this person who, like, you know, messed up, you know, committed a faux pas, whatever. Now depending on who you are, because crucial art, no, but depending on who you are. And I've been doing some of those videos and they've been doing okay. So I think I'm going to use it as an entry point to try to get my channel into more of a less drama centered area. It also probably means that it needs to be a little bit more unique, you know. What can I offer that these other channels aren't offering, and stuff like that, instead of just, you know, going with the flow. So it's a good mix of both, I think, is what I'm trying to do. So my next video, because it's not going to be the Minecraft video, that's not going to be the next one, it's still a huge project. My next video, I think, is going to be the Violet Evergarden video, where I like break down art and symbolism in Violet Evergarden, because I've always loved the video essays that I've been doing. They don't get a lot of love or attention, but they're really fun to make. And then another big part that I want this channel to be is, you know, art challenges, or exploring yourself artistically, doing plein airs in unusual places, you know, like painting buildings, stuff like that. That's what I want to get into. And then a little part of it is like Minecraft build challenges. I know it sounds everywhere, but it's art related, you know. 1 star grass juice is something. Yeah, you're definitely from Volin. So, I did want to talk about that, but oh my god, I'm not going to fall into the trap of being another art commentary creator. I mean, it's not a trap. I really enjoy some of these art commentators. It's just hard. It's hard figuring it out, you know. I have so much passion for this, but I don't want to. I don't know. It'll happen. But I was thinking, you know, if at some point I got a sizable amount of traffic in my channel, that I could really focus more on the good old days of art YouTube. I think that people enjoy that kind of stuff still. That stuff can be successful if you're an older creator. But from what I've seen, these older creators will make stuff like this, like sketchbooks, drawing in my sketchbook, doing live stream paintings. Live stream painting on Twitch is actually still pretty popular. I just don't really think the algorithm promotes it. They are pretty fun. I guess I might show everybody a little sneak peek of what I'm working on, because it's pretty epic. But the thing that I'm getting intimidated by is hold on. The thing that I'm getting intimidated by is how just to edit that Minecraft video. God, I want to be like a build YouTuber so bad, dude. I like this guy. You. Look at that. I love texture. Okay. I gotta be really careful about these textures too, because I don't like when you put too much light in one area, it looks too bulky. like this. Let me take a better look at this. Like, take a good crack at it. Like, to a fair extent, I would love to see how people do this. I'm just coming up with it as I go, trying to figure out what works best, adding and discarding textures. No, I don't like that. I think you can make anything really with any brush. You don't need a special brush to make a good painting. You do need to know how to use it, and brushes can make your life so much easier. But yeah. So I'm gonna get back onto the topic of like the drama art YouTube that's like really messed up about it. And I was trying to say this when I was talking about creepshow art because I wasn't even gonna make a creepshow art video. Like, I know everyone was making it at the time, and I didn't want to be one of those people. And then I started thinking about like the conversation around how we just keep eating ourselves alive. And we could probably do a bit better about that. And that conversation was really successful. I think I got to really talk to a lot of people about how it's just really getting out of hand lately. And I think Hopeless Peaches is one of the biggest examples of this, is because you have so many views coming from somebody who's talking about how somebody else messed up. You might get somebody manipulative enough to just make drama out of thin air for the sake of getting views or for the sake of image and clout and stuff like that. That's not unheard of, right? And then what's really damaging about that mental health wise is that you got like hundreds of thousands of people dogpiling you about something. Even if you're like the worst person in the world, what if you like plagiarized all of this work? Or you just don't know how to interact with people on the internet, you're just really bad at it. One wrong move and you have hundreds of thousands of people like getting at you, right? And if you're not completely innocent, it's really hard for, I think, people to not feel like they're a horrible person. And is that really constructive? Like, is it constructive? It's okay to have conversations about it. But it gets out of hand. It's like one of my worst nightmares of that ever happening to me, whether I did something, like I made a wrong step, I said something wrong. Of course, I would do my best to own up to it, hopefully. But, like, that's a lot of pressure, I'd say. I'm not even a big YouTuber, just the thought of it feels like a lot of pressure. And then you see YouTubers like Gabby Hanna just completely crack under the pressure. Now she is no, like, you know, I don't know, she's no saint or anything, but I think I could see how social media could really make you just fall apart. And then if you're a social media influencer and you've spent years doing this, like out of college, and maybe you dropped out. Some people do, they drop out of college and then they don't have any job opportunities, and they haven't been in the workforce, and then all of a sudden they get canceled for things that could be obscene, like not fair or completely fair. What the heck are you gonna do? Like, these people are just gonna break. I think drama has always been entertainment, and I think there's a conflict of interest, in my personal opinion. But a lot of these channels will say that it's more akin to journalism, right? A lot of commentary creators refer to themselves as journalists, digging for the facts, writing things down, making sure things are accurate, getting the scoop. And then you have to really consider because I do agree that there's a parallel to that. But you gotta consider, is it bad that, I guess, the journalism industry uses journalism for profit? Or is it fair because they gotta eat too, you know? Is it good because they're providing a service to the world and they have an incentive to really dig into facts? Or is it bad because, like I said, it's a conflict of interest? So that's a question. That's a good question, actually. I don't know how to answer that one. I've always been really good at asking weird questions that like really start a conversation, but me myself, I'm not interested in answering them right away. Oh, I like this. No, we're already going for something colorful. I'm not gonna. I always do this. I always hop around like that. See, you know, I don't know. I think there's just too much blue going on right there. Let's see if I can color burn it a bit. Also, the texture is not very satisfying to me. Getting difficult. Yeah, that's green. Go figure. Actually, I'm gonna take something soft. Yeah, I hate that. Tell me you don't know how color burn works without telling me you don't know how color burn. Woo! What's color dodge? I'm telling you, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, so, guys, can I get another mic check? Is my mic okay? Is my mic going pretty okay? Also, what, if anything, do you guys have any opinion on if I should try myself out on Twitch? Now, I've never really been interested in Twitch, ever. It's never been something that, like, piqued my interest. And there's, like, barely any growth, you know? You can't just, like, stream on Twitch. Nobody is going to see you unless, like, they already know you. Hey, thanks. Perfect. Hey, I can't hear the music for some reason. I'm gonna turn up the music a little bit. Somebody let me know. Actually, I'm gonna go into my settings instead and see what my output mic is doing. That's what I was saying, right? Because I heard that Twitch just has no promotion in its algorithm. Like, you'd have to be known on YouTube in order for Twitch to really, like, happen. You know? That's what I heard. I don't know if I'm wrong, but that really begs the question, how do people, you know, get known? How do people have any idea who other people are? I hear Twitch only cares about the money you generate, so if you don't have a following, Twitch doesn't care about you. Yeah, but how do they get streamers to, because what's equally important with these platforms is that they have new people coming in and up and coming, because the more people that they have, the more people are making the money, and the less, you know, effed up they are if like their biggest streamer like goes to jail or something and can't stream. Well, they have like 2 or 3 other big streamers, you know, and they're holding down the fort a bit. I hear a lot of smaller streamers I follow say that you basically have to have a presence on every social media and push yourself often. A lot of times it's luck when people get discovered. Most big streamers had a large YouTube presence before they went to Twitch. Yeah, okay, so that was what my thing was. I'd like to stream on Twitch. I haven't really been worried about it though. But, you know, it really begs the question, should I be just, you know, waited out until maybe I have a bigger following here? I like my tiny little community. I was just so eager to have like some sort of community happen. And now I got a tiny little piece of cake, and I'm really excited about it because what it means for me is that I'm going to have more, like I was saying earlier, just something to pull from, really, like something to pull from. Where do I get my inspiration and energy and motivation to do YouTube? So for a long time I loved doing YouTube because it was just so exciting to put a video out there, but after like 10 videos that I made that I put like weeks and hours of work into and they got nothing, and then seeing like that Creepshow art video that got like didn't get a lot of views, actually only got like 2,000, but for someone who was getting 10 to 50 views, it was like, wow, 2,000 people, oh my gosh. And then what was really crazy is like an insane ratio of people from that video went and subscribed to me, and it was like from like the people that I talked to, because I'm also friends with other YouTubers, that was a pretty insane ratio of people. So I enjoyed that, but it also made me frustrated because it's like, I don't want to be in a commentary channel. And then I tried out my luck and I was like, okay, what if I can find things that aren't commentary? But I couldn't. I really couldn't. I tried for like 6 months and I couldn't find anything that enticed the algorithm, that tickled the algorithm's toes, and didn't have to do somewhat to do with commentary. So yeah, I don't know. It's true you gotta do some things, but that's really sad, you know? I'd like to see some up and coming YouTubers that aren't commentary channels, that are involved in art and that really want to push artists and having a good time art-wise, making some beautiful projects. There are some, like I said, there are some really amazing YouTubers that are art related and have nothing to do with commentary. A lot of times it's, yeah. +30-minute long art videos along with just random stories. You think so? I was worried that would be a little cringy. I was actually considering that too. I was like, oh no, it has to be my own stories. But look, I've had an interesting life so far, but most of my really good stories are not appropriate for this channel. I will just say that. Okay, I am not liking how this is turning out. What is going on here? It's the texture, guys. It's the texture. So I'm gonna see if I can download some brushes, like some cloud brushes that would make this a little bit more believable. Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. My next video. So here's the thing, right? I like telling stories, I like doing video essays, I like doing art challenges, and then I'm going to, on top of that, do like Minecraft art challenges. Like, oh my gosh, what's up with that? You know, my niche is getting too wide. It's a good point. Hold on, I'm looking up some brushes. Darn. Darn it. Darn it! I'm sorry guys. I'm just trying to get some, grab some better brushes because I'm just struggling with these right now. Okay, so if you want some help or a team for some builds in Minecraft? Oh yeah. Maybe. This next build that I've been doing is almost like completely done. And it's just like a personal project. Ooh. Are you in the yellow server? Noah. Hey, I think I got this. I think I got the brushes. Hold on 1 second. No. Forget it. I hate Photoshop brushes like this. They're not actually brushes to use. They're just, gross. They're not actual brushes. They're just like stamps. Gosh darn it. I hate it when that happens. That's like always, every time you try to download a Photoshop brush, it's always like some sort of stamp. Like if I wanted a stamp, I would download a stamp. Whatever. I'll just work with what I have. Oh, that's right. I spent some time tracking down witches. That's pretty cool, man. Oh man, I wish Storytime YouTube was like back. Now it's all like Reddit YouTube. But man, I wish if Storytime YouTube was like a thing again, I would so be there. I would so be there in Square. Okay. So, we are having, we're not quite halfway through yet. I started this at 11. I want to talk about some Omnia stuff, but actually, we're gonna take a lunch. Well, I had lunch, but we're gonna take a break. We're gonna take a snack break, and then I'll look into that, and then just to make sure I got everything correct, and then get back to you guys. And that'll be in about 30 minutes. Gonna take another 15 minutes off. Then we're gonna come back and talk about this Omnia stuff, and then when I edit this live stream, I'm going to get into when I edit this live stream, I'm just gonna edit out all the breaks that I took, because I could do that. I've always been too lazy to edit my live streams. You've AFK'd it, yeah, beautiful. I mean, that sounds like me. Let's see, how is the stream going? How is the internet access? Let me look at that real quick. Okay, so the stream is pretty strong. Pretty cool. And the stream is healthy. No, I'm breaking in 30 minutes or so. That'll be around the halfway point. And then I think I'm gonna keep streaming until 3, and then I have some commissions to take care of, so I can print them out today. I need to mail a couple of commissions again, because some of them came back at me. I got the address wrong. Man. YouTube is so fun. So a lot of YouTubers, they like blow up right away, and sometimes they blow up takes years. For me, I'm really enjoying the pace that this is going at. I get to know some of these people before anything really happens. If anything happens, this is nice. I like the pace it's going. I like where we're at. I like getting my Discord server started. And by the way, anybody who is here and who has not joined my Discord server, I really highly suggest you do so. On my latest video, you will see a link to it in the description. Also, I think I might be able to put it in my bio, in the YouTube bio, so we'll see about that. But it's going healthy, and I really appreciate everybody who's on the Discord server so far. We ain't got a lot of people, but the people that we do have are really fun. And we're going to be introducing events once enough people get here. Also, if I get eventually, if I get around 20 to 50 more people on the Discord, I'm going to have to hire a mod. So, I guess that will be fun at some point for somebody who, you know, wants to be, help me out with the server. It'll really depend. You know, it's really difficult finding moderations for servers because the people who come in that you consider as moderators, they're like actual strangers. And then if you have like a brand new Discord server, but like that Discord server is gaining traction relatively quickly, then, well, you gotta deal with that mess. Actually had somebody that I knew had their Discord server within 4 days had like 20 to 30 people in it, and I was like, woo. And that's a whole mess to deal with. So another reason why I said like I really appreciate the fact that everything is going slowly. Okay, who is this dude? So this really cool drawing is actually from my brother because he had been begging for years, like, for his birthday, can you make me a poster of like fan art from this video game that we both really love. And for years I've been like, yes. And then for a couple years my tablet broke and I wasn't really on a computer and I didn't do digital art for a really, really long time. And then one day I did something like this for, I think it was his birthday. And it was right before I left for college. Oh, sorry, dude. Now looking back on it, I'm like, you know what, I could really do better. I'm in no rush. So let me do this when I'm not rushing so much. And now I'm doing it, but I'm struggling because of the brushes. Am I gonna have to do a part 3? Because if I'm gonna have to do a part 3 to this. Oh my gosh, we have to do a part 3. Yeah. You know, that might happen. Because, I can really see myself, like, not getting this done even in a couple hours. Something about this is not working. You can grab it. It's cool. Man, I really appreciate everybody who is here. Like, a lot. Okay, so it looks like I need some yellows and greens going on here, man. Like, it's getting blue. It's getting too blue. What is a good one linear dodge? Let's test you out, boy. Oh, so green. Wait, you know, it is actually pretty green when you get darker around here. But I need you to be green, like... Yeah. That'll do. There we go. Go color dodge. You know, has anyone recently realized how much Elton John has come back into the media sphere? I am 20 years old. I have no personal affiliation or connection with Elton John. None of his music came out in my time. Now all of a sudden this dude is getting really popular. For me, I had no idea who he was until I went to the theater to watch a movie, and it was like, there's nothing on in the theaters, and then there was Rocket Man, and the trailers looked really interesting, so I just went in and watched it, and I was like, whoa, this dude, I love this dude, he's gone through so much, there's so much empathy for him, he's such a great dude, and I'm not ashamed to admit that, that is how I found out about him, and I'm wondering how many other young people found out about him through that movie, because he's been doing a lot of collabs with younger pop stars too. Yeah, I'm semi in and out with his music, you know. I kind of like it, but it's not like my main thing, you know. That's not the main type of music I listen to. In fact, I hardly listen to music. Hardly. But it might get copyrighted, but what do you say I put on... No. Maybe in another stream, not this one. You can stick with the Lofi. I still can't hear. Still can't hear any of the music that's happening. But then whenever I like turn it up to the point where I can hear it, I get told that it's like too loud. One second, chat. I can't see you. I'm changing my settings real quick. There we go. Okay, now I can see you guys. You're an old fart. You're only 28. My boyfriend's 2 years younger than you. Okay. So I will let you in on the secret that I'm going to move on with the whole stars and stuff. But I'm not done with this texture, okay? There's something about this texture that's still bugging me a lot. Well, whenever painting like this, I'm really struggling with it. I really like to see it as like a texture, and there's hardly at this point I'm really good at textures, so there's hardly a point where I'm really struggling with the texture of something, and I like to see it as kind of a learning experience, I guess. I'd like to, I'd reckon the next time I have to do anything like this, that it will be a lot easier for me. Okay, now I can actually see what's bothering me. I can really see what's bothering me. Yeah, I can fix that too. Yeah, gonna fix that. Oh man, as much as I was digging this green, it needs to go. So where the heck did I put the green? That's what I'm telling you. He's an Earth. You know what? I'm 20. I know most young people disagree with me, but I really don't think 30 is that old. Like, yes, it's much older than I am. But it can't be that old, man. You know? Okay. Good, good. This is starting to go in the right direction. No matter what I do, I just can't get this thing to go yellow. Okay, I'm getting closer and closer to meeting the texture that I'm actually really wanted to see. Now, here's the thing. In Kingdom Hearts, there's this beautiful moon. It's like a heart-shaped moon. I don't know where the moon would be. I think the moon is like on the opposite side of the Milky Way. Also, it's somewhat noteworthy that in these like no light pollution skies, gonna delete that. In these no light pollution skies, the bottoms, yeah, like right there. Where is that? Right there. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to move this thing. It's important for you guys to know that I am experimenting. Sorry, slow focused. Okay, sorry, I'm really getting into this. It's kind of fun experimenting with the shape a bit. Like, it could do anything. It can do anything. Okay, if anyone is still here after me not talking for so long. Sometimes you really just get in the zone, and even though you don't, like, even if you don't realize it, you just, you're in the zone, man. I wonder what's making this area so blue down here. Like, I like this better than I like this so much more. But there's something wrong with the bottom of it. Let's see if I can fix that. And I don't know what's going on with that every time I draw on it. I don't know what's up with this. What's going on here? Like, seriously, bro, what's up with this? That's part of it. I don't get it. Like, every time I put, like, some blue right here, like, any amount of blue, see? Do you see that? What's up with that? Yeah, it is. A little bit upset with that thing going on there, but you know, I think this is ready for the next stage in development, and that is adding the stars, because who can go wrong with stars? This right here is a bunch of water. So, on top of all of everything, I'm gonna add some stars. Not really sure how I'm going to add stars, but we got these really cool speckles going on. No, not in this trash fog pack. But, these guys. So if I use these wisely, find the right splatter, nice, perfect. It's like the perfect splatter. Make it so much smaller. And then do a what? So obviously it's not gonna be like, okay, that might be too big. But, yes. In a quick little second, I'm going to take somewhat of a bit of a break. Okay, it looks like we're gonna be doing this manually. Yeah, we're gonna be doing this manually because it is so very delicate where these stars go, and I really just can't control this. So some of these are going to be blue, some of these are going to be sparkly. And what's really, well, those are dashes. What's really important is some of these are going to be like hazy and like really bright, and they do that sort of streaky thing. That's a super important aspect of this looking like big and glowy. And it's evolving into art talk, unfortunately, because I really need to do some research on this Omnia situation before I can talk about her, because I'm nervous. Unfortunately, well, I think that's a good thing, right? You don't want to spread misinformation about somebody's life and livelihood. Okay, so that is a very small amount of stars. And then taking inspiration from this. Some of the stars are super glowy, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. And then vivid light this baby. My doggo is right here, and she's like, "What are you doing?" Super tiny. So, yeah. If I'm not incorrect, the moon should not be anywhere in sight. But I really wanted the moon to be like right here. Because, you know, who cares? It's art. It doesn't have to be scientifically accurate. Okay, so we're gonna take a 30-minute break. I'm gonna save this document real quick before something tragic happens. And then we're going to take a 30-minute break for me to do some research, and we're going to get into some serious topics. And then, yeah. Doodly stream. Right after this live stream, I'm going to edit this thing too. It's looking good. It's actually getting to a point where like I like where it's going. I was getting really frustrated and worried about it earlier, but it's getting to a good spot. It just needs some crunchy stars going on. So like the bright areas of the Milky Way, they're just basically giant clusters of stars, you know? So you shouldn't see too many individual stars. So that's what I'm going to be working on next. Okay, now I'm gonna enjoy my break. Yeah, you're right. Oh, okay, yeah, disappear. That's alright. I didn't need you. 30 minutes from now is 1:30. Okay, I'll be back. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hey, yo, I'm back, baby. All right. Hello. What's up, bin of trash? Are you still here? I'm back early, I get it. Well, in the meantime... Oh, hello. Thank you. In the meantime, we're going to be looking at this situation. What? Okay. So I'm gonna wait for some people to come back, then we're gonna get right back into it. Thank you for my welcome. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have to do a part 3, extending to, I want to get the sky done today, and then, I would like, to get these people done at some other date. I wish I could stream for 8 hours at a time, but this is such a difficult, drawing for me to do. Hey. I don't know. I'm struggling so much with it. Like, okay, so now I look at it now, and it literally looks like soft airbrushes in layers that you could have done in like 30 minutes. It took me way longer than 30 minutes. Okay, right? There are streamers who stream for like days. Well, maybe like a whole entire day. How do you do that, you know? Okay, so for some reason this thing has disappeared. Huh. I know I can do better than this drawing, but anyway, okay, so now I am going to get into the Omnia situation, because that was my latest video and I got a lot of viewers from that, and there's been kind of an update going on with the response to this, and I really wanted to like pinpoint some of the things. I really wanted to give credit to her for fixing some things, but I also wanted to talk about some things that didn't go quite right. In terms of an apology for plagiarizing, and then also the fact that this is a problem that has happened before. Certainly. Okay, my dogs... Hey, babies. Sorry, my dogs are getting a little fussy. I'm gonna talk about the situation and then take I know, I keep taking breaks, a 5-minute break to let them outside. Would you Please go. Go on. Please go. Go. 1 second, guys. Okay, I'm back. So I wasn't really worried about talking about this first thing in the stream, because when I edit it, I'll add some chapters. So if anyone's looking specifically for this section, they can always click on it. Okay, so getting right into it, we're really going to be looking at her apology, because that really just tells you, you know, like what she's learned from the referencing and plagiarism situation. And then some things that I think her and some of her viewers, her supporters, are a little bit confused about the impact of referencing and plagiarism. So I want to just make sure to note that I think arguably bigger part of this controversy is what she was talking about, like the topic of this video, trauma or drama. And personally, I was a little bit affected by the way that she talked about trauma, and I don't think it was very delicate or it wasn't a very good idea, the way that she referred to it, but it obviously was not intentional, and so I hold no personal grudge, but a lot of people were upset about that, and I just wanted to acknowledge it and say that we're not really going to be touching on it, but I understand that this is, you know, people are a little bit more upset. But like I said, I am not a drama or commentary channel. I am just looking at things and taking some lessons, or kind of using things as an example, a starting off point, to pose questions and start conversations. Oh. Yeah, I just let them outside real quick. They were like really fussy, and I just realized that I did not let them out in a couple hours, and they probably need to go to the bathroom. So I'm probably going to have to go and bring them back inside once they're done. Okie dokie. C'est l'heure. So, going to grab this. So one thing that I noticed, like basically immediately, let me just full screen. Well, I can't full screen it. No, I can full screen it. That's right. I have more than one screen. That's awesome. Okay. So, what was really cool about watching her like apology video was that the first thing that she put was like an artist that inspired her to make this drawing. That's really cool. Now, I think depending on the drawing, like I don't think I was in the middle of the trauma thing and it felt semi-intentional. I don't think you make a video talking about it that way. You know, I agree. But from my point of view, right, it kind of just seems like, I know I'm getting into it and I said it wasn't. I'll get into it briefly, but it seemed like she was talking about something and she didn't. I don't know, it sounds like I'm defending her, but like this is just how I saw it, okay? This is probably, you know, a lot of people see it differently, but the way that I read it was that she wanted to talk about a topic that would get some attention, because obviously that's what YouTubers do. Same here, I do that. And she didn't really consider like the depth of what it meant to talk about trauma in this way. Like, she was very light about it. She was, I at points, very snarky about, oh, this isn't trauma, you're just being dramatic, you know? That's how it came across. Like, she really wasn't considering the ramifications and how much it would hurt people. And I think that's pretty bad. I think it still is bad. I mean, it's still pretty up there. It's very inconsiderate, especially if you have a platform and that showcases some irresponsibility when you're talking about these things that's really damaging. So, yeah. Anyway, other than that, though, basically, I wanted to say that she looked like she didn't really care or consider who she was copying, or how that would affect that person who put this work into creating it in the first place, and then, you know, copying it and plagiarizing it. So it's nice to see that she took this opportunity to like showcase an artist who probably has the same amount of followers as she does, actually even more followers, I think. But she showcased someone, at least, that that she was inspired by. And then when you do something like this and you like show somebody the exact image or the exact images that you're being inspired by, it's a lot easier to kind of get away with it. Like, yes, a lot of these elements were from this person. And so if she did something like the what is it called? What's her face? Raven fan art. And she created some Raven fan art, and she showed people like, oh, this is the drawing that I'm inspired by, and I just wanted to copy it or do something super similar because I like the way it turned out, and, you know, for study, that would have been pretty okay, like a-okay. You can get really close to copying one per one as long as you tell people that this is your intention and this is what you're doing, and not pretend like you did something by yourself. Because like another part of it was that her caption was, it was something like a concept sketch or something that I did of Raven, and she didn't say that it was inspired or anything. So that was really what was damning. But like I said, she might have drawn something super close to this girl's style, or something that's super close to her style, and then has a similar pose. And then people would like look at her and be like, hey, this looks a lot like this drawing. And maybe she'd get in a controversy again. But since she's showing that this is a person's style and I like their poses and I'm using their poses, you can pretty much get away with that. And that would be pretty okay. And if anything, it's like a shout out to this artist. Although I think some people would disagree with some like lines there, because a lot of people are like, you should probably get permission to copy, or you should get permission to showcase an artwork. I'm not really sure how I feel about that. Like, I don't know how I feel about it, right? I have some conflicting thoughts about the whole you need to get permission to show someone else's artwork. Like, it would be one thing if it says, do not show this artwork, or like ask if you want to trace or use a pose or something. I don't know. But, for me, I have like this understanding that when I put my art on the internet, my art, it's gonna go random places, you know? And it's best that I get credited for my artwork where it ends up. But I'm not expecting someone to completely pretend that it doesn't exist on the internet. If they want to use it for a video, you know, that's cool with me. So I don't know. I haven't really made up my mind about the whole ask for permission type of thing. But it's really cool to see that she's crediting her art inspiration. You don't even have to, like, if you just like her style, you don't have to credit her for it. I don't think. It depends on how closely you're gonna copy one of her, like, her faces or her poses or something. But yeah, it's nice. It's nice to show that you're inspired by someone, or 2 or 3 people, for full transparency, just to be safe. I think it's still been technically in the wrong. Okay, that's yeah. And then the fact that it's monetized as well does add an aspect to it too. Because, like, if somebody took my artwork and made it into stickers and then made, like, money from it, I would be kind of cross about it. I'd be like, no, I can do that myself and I'll take that money, you know? I spent my hard-earned, I spent work on this. So I can see that aspect of it too. Yeah. But I think, let me just show you. So her artwork does look very inspired by this person's style, to the point where she might get in trouble, but it looks like a very unique pose to me. If we go on to look at her.
The most important part of being...
Oh, man, I don't have any ad blockers on this computer. Okay. So let's go ahead and look into her Instagram and just take a quick look. And then we'll get into, I guess, the apology, but that's, like, not the point that I'm looking at too much. I actually just want to point out that I love the brush or the pencil, whatever she's using. I love the texture of it. I like, yeah, the lines are really nice. And even if she copied something, I think this shows, like, a really good, cool improvement in style. In fact, it's actually, it showcases exactly why it's useful for an artist to copy someone else's style closely, or be inspired closely by elements of someone else's style. Because, whereas it takes maybe an artist's trial and error to find something that looks aesthetically pleasing on their own, Frankensteining a bunch of different things that you like from other artists into one, like the way that they do their lines and stuff, it still takes a lot of work for you to mimic it in a way that looks pretty, but it is a shortcut, and I think it's an acceptable shortcut. Only, of course, if it gets just too close to the original, just to say that you're inspired by it. No biggie. I mean, of course, if it's a 1-for-1, that's, like, a totally other thing. Okay, so I'm now logged into my Instagram. We're just going to be looking at this random person's Instagram. Okay, no, actually, this changes things a bit. Hey, Chlorine, what's up? Yeah, I might disagree slightly with that, bin of trash, but I think that's just coming from my perspective, from art school, but when I was in certain classes with, actually almost every single studio class that I had with the professor, my professors would tell me to copy 1-for-1 people's art styles, and people's, like, paintings and stuff, either famous people's paintings or not so famous people's paintings. Sometimes it was like an alumni's painting that you really liked the style of, and that really helped me get down an idea of how an impressionist brushstroke goes when you want to paint in a certain style. What sorts of strokes do I have to do to achieve the same thing? that kind of stuff that you experiment with, and you wouldn't really think about that by yourself if you weren't really trying to copy someone's style. However, I do think yeah, exactly. I do think if you post it, if you post it, that's obviously, and then insinuate that that's completely yours, that's not great at all. That's like terrible. That was like the big difference, right? As passing it off on your own versus saying that no, I'm copying this for the purpose of practicing. However, same thing with tracing. That's like the big thing with tracing. But there is actually like a gray line, like I think a blurry line here when you're talking about Omnia actually using something super close to the reference for a video that is maybe or might not be monetized. So do you think it changes that she might have monetized this? Do you think it changes something that it's not monetized? You know? Well, yeah, she put her own spin on it. It's a similar pose and a similar art style. And then she showed who she was inspired by. I gotta say, I don't really see anything wrong with that. No, not too much, really, I don't. But it would give me pause actually to think about if she was monetizing it. I would be thinking about it. I would be contemplating about it a bit. Do you think this? By the way, do you know if you can tell? How can you tell if something's monetized? I know we just watched an ad for it, but okay. But my videos actually have ads on them sometimes, and I did not monetize them. I can't monetize. I'm so tiny. So yeah, I don't know. I think this is the show's improvement.
So that I hear you, and that I'm sorry.
Let me just fix something real quick.
After stepping back and reflecting on my last two videos, I recognize that I missed the mark on more than a couple things. Firstly, I want to apologize for my poor wording surrounding the topic of trauma and drama. Due to my vague language and subpar phrasing, I ended up creating misunderstandings rather than explaining myself properly and effectively. I wanted to emphasize that I don't believe anyone's trauma is invalid regardless of when it came about, where it stems from, or what caused it. I apologize for using terms such as lukewarm to describe a topic as serious as this, and I'm sorry that I oversimplified this deeply complex and nuanced topic. I never wanted what I said to come off as though anyone's trauma didn't count or...
Okay. So you saw this part. Like I said, I don't want to get too into it. This is actually, this topic of her talking about the trauma and drama was really, really hit home with me, and I haven't processed how I felt about it. You know, I don't personally hold it against her, but I can see why other people do, and I'm not in the right spot to really talk about that part of this video. I really just wanted to talk about this thing because what came out after that video of like people that called her out for copying, like really like one-for-one copying somebody else's artwork and then saying that it was her own. What came out was that a lot of actually other art was copied by her. I think the one that I saw was like she did an animatic, but she copied an anime called like The Silent Voice. for a couple of the frames in one of the frames. But yeah, and then apparently she's done this before. And I don't know specifically if she was called out for those things. And that's really disappointing to like hear about though, because it begs the question if she would have reflected if this was very fair to the artist, if nobody like told her it was not fair. I have a hard time feeling like this isn't common sense, right? That if you were in class and you're sitting next to somebody and that person is doodling a flower, and then you doodle like the same flower, the same colors, like very similar, I don't know, I think that person would be kind of upset to see that. And then imagine if you entered the flower in an art competition and then won a prize for your flower, but that other person didn't. That might not actually fly in an art competition, but say it did, right? That's kind of not cool. I would be upset about that too. So it's hard to think that like that wouldn't be common sense for her, but it makes me wonder if it's just something that is common sense for me because I've always grown up knowing that this was a big deal with copying artwork. Like, you had to be very, very careful when you're referencing to make sure and put so much originality of it that it looks nothing like that person's, unless you're doing it for an assignment, and in that case you can't claim it as your own. Yeah, it does. In high school, I've never been plagiarized. Knock on wood. That would piss me off so bad. If I was plagiarized, it would piss me off so bad. And I'm like, I don't get pissed off too easily. Just imagining that happening would really upset me, actually. Of course. That's also a big thing too. Yeah. And you can get into legal trouble for it, especially when money is involved. So that's not cool. But I don't know where it was.
Terms such as lukewarm to describe a topic as serious as this, and I'm sorry that I oversimplified this deeply.
Okay, so we're gonna get into it because I'm not exactly sure. I didn't timestamp where she's talking about it, but she addresses the plagiarism specifically, and I want to get into that because I don't know. I just wanted to open up a dialogue about why I don't think that is a very appropriate way to acknowledge that you took credit for someone else's artwork. So it seems like she has a very similar attitude about it.
Complex and nuanced.
Oh man, I'm sorry about that, dude. Bin of Trash, are you on my Discord? Discord? Are you on the Discord server? I think I saw you in there. I'm trying to put context. Like, did you post some like awesome artwork in the Discord, or am I like thinking of someone else? Alright, my throat hurts so bad from talking. How do streamers do this? My throat is literally killing me. Awesome.
Topic. I never wanted what I said to come off as though anyone's trauma
Okay, we're gonna have to like power through this part, sorry.
Count or was being reduced, minimized, trivialized, or otherwise invalidated. My previous clarification videos seem to have resulted in tension. I realized I didn't do the greatest job at communicating that. Misunderstandings, my inability to communicate effectively have hurt my viewers because of my phrasing. I sincerely apologize. I wanted to address the art theft, plagiarism, and
Okay, there we go.
tracing claims. I drew this image in my video discussing trauma and drama. I used this artwork by Maggie.
Okay, off topic though. She looks like she's using a similar brush, and I really wish I knew what this brush was because I love it. Okay, sorry.
Carb as my reference, and for the color palette I used this reference. I have recently been accused of tracing and plagiarizing this work from Magikarp, but I want to clarify that I did not do that. I did not trace Magikarp's artwork, but rather I referenced it and drew it on my own, as is evident by this speed paint. My mistake was not crediting Magikarp in the description of my video immediately after I posted it. I also should have asked permission to reference Magikarp's work for my video instead of simply using it without her consent. However, when I was made aware that I had forgotten to add credit for the reference, I quickly fixed my mistake and reached out to Magikarp privately in order to apologize directly. She was very
Okay. So that's cool and all, but so I wouldn't be talking about this if I didn't see this part of the video where she says specifically, you know, I didn't plagiarize. Yeah, me too. If by professional you mean like you make money, right? Yeah, you're the really awesome illustrator from the Discord. Okay, yeah, so you must be like you personally, like you must like personally like understand this part then. Damn. Yeah, no. I understand where you're coming from with that then. And actually, you might know a little bit more about asking permissions than I do. So for me, I'm a little lax about that, but for you, this is your job, right? This is something that you get paid to do, and this is artwork that probably reaches a really wide audience. Oh, cool. That's freaking awesome, man. Damn. Exactly. It's not tolerated. I mean, okay, so you must know of all people how very freaking strict the word plagiarizing is in the art industry. It doesn't matter, like you're in a competition, you're in academia, you're doing this professionally. Plagiarism is like a huge topic, because it can get the company you're working for in trouble. Like this, there was this one time, an artist came out about the fact that Steven Universe, like the actual brand, like the marketing company for Steven Universe, the one that does all their merch, came out with merch that looked exactly like a fan artist's version. Like it was a gender swap of Steven. And it came out to be almost exactly looking like the fan art. And so whoever was the artist working on that got that company into huge trouble, right? This isn't a small conversation. This is very important to talk about. It's very important to like clarify, especially to younger artists who are like influenced by these situations. Because when people talk about these situations, I feel like they just talk about it for the sake of drama. But they don't really emphasize, like the etiquette of discussing this stuff. They don't discuss like how it looks in the art industry. Nobody talks about really the ramifications, the legal ramifications of plagiarism like this. And then every time some sort of copyright thing happens on YouTube and people go to court over it, it's just seen as like this silly person just going to court over some silly, script or writing or music or something like that. And the person who copyrights it is generally seen as a bad guy. When these situations come up though, and nobody really talks about the important stuff, like what happens if you're caught in a situation? How do you avoid the situation? How do you properly credit something? And then how do you go about using references like professionally? Yeah. What kind of science? Wait, I should actually read. I should start reading your guys' chats out loud because people are probably not going to be reading the chat. But hilariously enough, an art director or hiring director can usually catch art theft. There's signs people don't realize. Yes, definitely something that can be found in portfolios, like a big portfolio killer. I don't know why people think that they can get away with doing it, but I hear quite often how somebody uses their like certain artwork in their portfolio that's obviously plagiarized. Like, how do you think that's a good idea? Okay, I'm gonna let the dogs in, and then I'm gonna talk about specifically Omnia's pretty much the way that she kind of wrote off the fact that she plagiarized. Her reaction to it was a little bit disappointing because, you know, I was like really hoping that she took people seriously, and a lot of people gave her some constructive criticism on how to do things better, and it looked like she was like, okay, yeah, you know, you're right, I can fix this, I have a big platform, I shouldn't do stuff like this, especially if there are kids watching and influenced by this stuff. But the way that she reacted to it was, yeah, not the best. Oh, really? I guess it really does. Okay. First off, colors and lines don't match often. You don't get the same kind of depth and coloring as you do the line work. Anatomy missteps, lack of atmosphere, bad color choices. So, are you saying like certain poses, certain amounts, like if I don't know, you did like a beautiful drawing, but like certain aspects of the drawing doesn't line up with the skill that this artist should have if they created like this type of drawing in the first place? I don't know. I do feel like you learn to draw isn't really taught much in this type of art community. It's more found in the professional side of it. I agree with that. I do dabble in the like professional side of this art community, but that's not the stuff that people look at. That's not the stuff that kids look at. And I think a lot about like bad examples of big YouTubers that people love their art styles, and people like idolize their personalities and the type of art that they do. These types of bad examples can really just like line people up, line the internet conversations on the internet for talking about this in really bad, stupid ways, having a complete misunderstanding of what plagiarism is, you know? Oh my gosh, you have no idea how many times I have had to talk to people about how referencing in specific ways isn't considered copying or plagiarism, but because people do it in such silly ways like Omnia does, it's really hard for people to have these nuanced conversations. It's a little silly. It's either like, oh no, she bad because she used someone else's artwork and didn't make it 100% by herself, and people don't realize that it's super common to use inspiration and to copy artists in a professional way. Yeah, true. Hold on 1 second. Okay. So, don't mind if you hear dog noises. They're not leaving me alone. So people want a quick road to good art rather than basics. Yeah, I found the Omnia situation, and that's why I thought I'd make a video for once. Oh, you make videos? Was going to show people how to use multiple references to create a unique character. You know what? That's a good idea, right? I talked about it, but I didn't really demonstrate it. And your concept arts are so pretty and so cool. I think that would be a very useful and good video to do. Okay, so, oh, my throat is hurting. Real quick, because I think I gotta hop off and get some commissions done today. I wanted to show, we'll just go over what Omnia said again, why I really disagree with what she said, about, you know, the situation. And, yeah, that's it pretty much. Thought she learned, but she didn't.
Is evident by this speed paint. My mistake was not crediting Magikarp in my own at Magikarp's artwork, but rather I referenced it and drew it on my own. But I did not do that. I have recently been accused of tracing and plagiarizing this work from Magikarp, but I want to clarify that I did not do that. I did not.
Right. Yeah, I don't know how to say this, but that definitely was plagiarism. Now, it wasn't copying. She's saying, well, she was copying, but she was basically saying that
Not trace Magikarp's artwork, but rather I referenced it and drew it on my own, as is evident by this speed paint. My mistake.
So nobody, I never thought that she traced it. I don't know if you thought that she traced it, Trash. But I never assumed that she traced it. You can tell she didn't trace it. The lines were a lot different, didn't line up the same. The problem was never the fact that she supposedly traced it or did not trace it. The problem was the fact that it was so close to the original, it was so close to the original artwork by Magikarp that, you basically just one for one referenced it. Like, you didn't add any originality to it, you didn't add your own spin, and even with, like, notwithstanding, you just didn't tell anybody that, hey, I was heavily referencing this piece of artwork by this other person. Not just their style, not just their pose, not just their colors, all three of them. Right, exactly. Super heavily referenced. And look, you can get away with that if you, like, you know, like, I think when I was a kid, I used to do the same thing. Like, I'd find pictures of, like, Sonic the Hedgehog on the internet, and then I would, like, super heavily reference it, and then I would show, like, my mom, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, look what I did. But you can maybe get away with that if you're a little kid. But when you're a professional YouTuber who makes money off of this stuff, and like thousands of people watch you, and then you don't show people that this is referencing a much smaller artist who probably needs the publicity, nor did you, I guess, ask, even though you monetized it. But for me, what was damning, moreover than her being naive about this, was A, that she's done this a couple times, and I think she was called out about it, and then B, the fact was that her bio for when she posted it on Instagram, like the finished product, had something to do with, like, look at this drawing that I did, look at this concept art sketch that I did, not I was inspired to draw this, or something like that. She made it seem like she conceptualized it all by herself, and that's not cool. So for her to say that, oh, obviously I didn't trace it, look, I did a speed paint, but I will not listen to the fact that I definitely did plagiarize and not just heavily reference this. I would go as far as to say that it was definitely plagiarism. Like, if you were any professional space, and you presented somebody with this, I think that would be considered plagiarism, and you might even be fired or let go from a job, or get kicked out of an art competition, or maybe even get kicked out of school for presenting this seriously, because you can really get other people in big trouble if this ever came out. Like, there needs to be strict laws about this, really strict rules about this. Like, this is copyright, this is somebody else's hard work. So yeah, I think it was not cool. That looked like some deflecting there. That was not owning up to it. The only part she did end up owning up to was the fact that she didn't ask to use a reference. That wasn't really like the problem, was it though? The problem wasn't that she didn't ask. The problem was that she just like took someone else's art. Yeah, you'd generally be fired if you can't keep to the skills you were hired for. Exactly. And even if you did have those skills and you were just lazy one day and you drew it like this, you could get in huge trouble. Like, you can get your company into big trouble. Ugh. I'm gonna hurt my throat. Okay.
Jake was not crediting Magikarp in the...
Now, I really actually wanted to come on to this stream and see, because that was the main reason why I wanted this, until I like watched the rest of the video, and then I was like, okay, I probably should just address this again. But the main reason why I was talking about this was the fact that that I was excited that she looked like she was like setting a really good example of how to show people references and to build up your image from a bunch of references, but that definitely wasn't the case here. If you use I feel like if you use a reference, most people wouldn't even know you used one. Like, it shouldn't look exactly like your reference. Exactly. I don't know, I guess an example would be like today when I was painting that painting, I guess we could look at it right now.
The description of...
Wait. You see, I mean, I had a couple other references that looked a little bit more like the painting itself, not the star. But you can definitely see that there's some inspiration for the color palette, and then there was some inspiration for the shape earlier. But it doesn't look like one for one. Here, let me show you the references I used a little bit more. Was this one? I'm pretty sure this one was one of the references I used. It's actually one of the reasons why I'm doing water for the bottom. Oh, yeah, that stripey stuff. I like that overlay. This is a lot more subtle than mine is, though. But, like, as you can see, there's kind of like a huge difference. Like, there's similarities. I borrowed colors. I borrowed shapes. I borrowed atmosphere. But I didn't exactly borrow the entire image. Yes, IRL refs, I would say that there's a lot less stigma on using photography as references than using other people's art as references. And I think that's like more over what people expect when you say that you use references. Like maybe using one or two references of someone else's style. But people really expect that you use like a photograph or you like if you're painting your room or the inside of a house, that you would take a look at someone else's painting and how they painted in a similar atmosphere, but like you actually painted your own room. That is a reference that is acceptable and might even be completely acceptable for monetization and for, you know, putting it in a gallery or something like that, because this is a completely original image from you. You're just borrowing atmosphere, you're borrowing like how somebody else likes to light up a room. It's a completely different room. So it gets really dodgy and really sketchy, you know, but it's when you reference someone else's artwork.
My video immediately after I posted it. I also should have asked permission to reference Maggie Karp's work for my video instead of simply using it without her consent. However, when I was made aware that I had forgotten to add credit for the reference, I quickly fixed my mistake and reached out to Maggie Karp privately in order to apologize directly. She was very considerate and forgiving, and we came to a mutual understanding about what she will or will not tolerate in relation to referencing her art. I will be sure to be more careful of this in the future, ask permission before heavily.
That's nice and all, but how do people not know how to say sorry? How do people not know how to say this? I'm sorry. I know, like, it's such a big draw. People are like, oh my gosh, YouTuber apologies are bad. This is 5 out of 10, I guess. Like, she addressed things, but what you're supposed to say when you're sorry is, I acknowledge that I did this. Sorry that I did this. You know, like, she was basically saying, sorry that you think that I did this, but I actually did this. I never plagiarized. I never plagiarized. I never traced. I wasn't actually a reference. And I will own up to the fact that I didn't ask permission, because that's something that I can, actually agree. You know, like, that's something that, doesn't make me so uncomfortable to admit that I did, was that I didn't ask permission. You know, let me downplay it a bit. If you're going to apologize for something, like, why even post the apology about the reference if you're not going to own up to the fact that people were mainly upset that you plagiarized? Like, I don't know, I think you have to be extremely, not listening, when people say that it looked like plagiarism and not tracing. Like, you're not even listening to people when they say that this wasn't cool, because you just took someone's art one for one. I didn't hear anyone say that you traced it. That's true. I'm sorry. I know this is gonna sound like I'm not a drama YouTuber, but still, you know, that's basically, how do you apologize when you did something wrong? You say, sorry that I did this thing to you. I acknowledge that I hurt you in this and this and this way. Maybe ask them if they want to open up about why it hurt them, open up a conversation if they're comfortable with it, and then, own up to everything. You have to listen to somebody. You have to listen to somebody's critiques if you're going to properly apologize. You can't just apologize for nothing, you know? I mean, there are instances where I don't know why people are mad, and I'll say, I'm sorry that, like, I hurt you. Can I ask, you know, what I did? But she had, like, thousands of people saying that it just looked really unfair and bad that you plagiarized something, you know? I don't know. Even if she misunderstood, it's still kind of a bad apology, because it clearly means that she didn't listen to anybody and she's just talking out of her ass. I know. The apology was nice, though. Well, part of it was nice. She addressed it. She addressed how she's gonna fix it, but she didn't address it like to the full extent. Obviously, I don't know. I'm saying the same thing over and over again, but yeah, downplaying it is basically what happened. I like that she said, this is how I'm gonna fix it, and this is why people are upset. But it's just a whole nother thing when you can't even explain why people are upset properly. even though from what I saw, people were really concise about why it was, you know, a faux pas for her to do something like this. But yeah, the bigger part of this conversation is not about the tracing. It's not about, I'm sorry, not tracing. It was not about the plagiarism. The bigger part of this conversation is about how she hurt a lot of people who were traumatized by downplaying their trauma. And I think arguably that would be why people dislike this apology. For me, it's just like she just didn't own up to it fully. And you gotta do that. And that's like the whole point of apologizing. That's true. I want to say that. I want to emphasize that too. These people are human beings, right? They do mess up. If this happened to me in real life, right? Like if I did something like this, or okay, if she did something like this in real life, and this person called her out, like, bro, you totally just copied this person. It would be kind of like cringy, like, ah, man, he caught me tracing somebody, you know? That's really sucky. That's really embarrassing for me. I don't think that person would personally expect an apology because that person didn't make the artwork that she traced. And she's not taking money from somebody else's artwork. She's just showing a friend, she got caught, you know? But because she's putting this on a public platform, it's a lot more that she has to do to make up for it. There's a lot more that she has to do to be careful about this kind of stuff. And I don't think that's an excuse. Really, I don't. I can see why people get it wrong, but I don't think it's an excuse because I think it just means that people need to be way more conscious and way more understanding of what they're doing when they have these platforms, when they're influencing people. If you want to have this job, I'm not saying you deserve to have your privacy violated or you deserve to be, you know, made fun of, or you deserve all these bad things people are saying to you. But I am saying that this level of scrutiny is somewhat appropriate for the amount of damage that you can cause by not being careful. On the topic, I want to address it quickly. Hopeless Peaches, she's a lovely, lovely person. She's also a commentary art YouTuber. She talked about this video. She talked about Omnia. She was like one of the first people to talk about it. And instead of really like owning up to the criticisms, in which the criticisms were really, really harsh from Hopeless Peaches. But instead of owning up to some of the criticism, she just like basically yelled and like she got really mad. Apparently she lied about some of the points in her video, and I saw the video. I saw Hopeless's video, and she got really angry at her over it. She's very defensive about it. The only point when she chose to really like speak up and say I'm sorry and I'm going to change things was when it got quote unquote out of hand, you know, when it wasn't just one or two people talking about this and a couple people on Twitter, when like everybody was really just dogpiling on her about this. That's when she decided to do this, you know. And even before she decided to apologize, she just completely like just ripped someone else apart and lied about them because they decided to call her out. Like, that's not how you handle plagiarizing in the art industry. You can't just do that. That's not okay. I don't know. These people really need to grow up. And that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna get too into it. I don't want to get dragged into commentary. I'm just maybe trying to point out what you could do better if you're in a similar situation and how this doesn't fly. And I think if you made a video about if you like a bin of trash made a video about how people can use a bunch of different references, just like I demonstrated, and make a beautiful piece of artwork that is still original and inspired, and not even really needing to show people these are your references, but you could just to be extra careful. That would be very helpful, I think. Exactly. It's true. That's true. Things get so personal on the internet too. Yeah, definitely. It's a scary place out there. Sadly, it's frustrating to see that this is how people react, like, almost every single time they're called out on the internet. Why can't you just have somebody say, hey, yo, I kind of agree with you. I did this wrong. Sorry, let me fix that for you. You know, let me make this right. Let me own up to it. You can't just say that. Like, that's all you gotta do. Wow. Yeah. So I'm really hoping that there's going to be more ambassadors of goodwill moving forward in the art community, both the professional art community. Well, I don't know if I want to say professional versus non-professional. These guys still, I could see them being considered professional, but in the art community in general, I think I am wishing for some more people who are ambassadors of goodwill and actually have, I don't know, the good character to admit that when they're wrong about something. Like, it would save people so much breath and trouble. You think so? We got that once when she left the internet. Nice people don't tend to stick around. Yeah. I miss Jenna Marbles. She was so nice. She was here for it. She was like the ambassador of goodwill that existed here. Hopeless Peaches. She's pretty okay, you know. She got into some controversy, but she dealt with that, and some of it was unfair, but generally she's pretty fair about her criticisms and owning up to things. There are definitely some other art YouTubers that aren't into commentary, because this is why I don't want to get into commentary. It's dog eat dog world out there. You're going to talk about somebody else, they're going to target you, you might say something wrong, you're suddenly on the dinner plate. It's not cool. I don't know, I wish we could have these conversations gently and calm and say, hey, I messed up, this is how I could do better, and actually do that thing. You're not like the devil for making a mistake this one time and owning up to it. Why can't it just be like that, you know? Okay. Anyway, so this stream was half art stream and rambling stream and talking about whatever I wanted to while I was painting this, and then half of it was talking about the update on Omnia and you know, addressing how it could have been better, and hopefully I'm really glad that she did get better at, you know, completely crediting somebody like this. That's really nice. I think this is super cool. But yeah, I don't know. People get better at accountability, hopefully. And this was just a really good opening up. This was just a really good point to open up a conversation about plagiarism. I hope that anyone who watched my video is well versed in what it's like, and what it means to plagiarize and what it means to copy, and how you cannot use this as an excuse to just flagrantly say that I did this on the internet. Everyone should just go make cool season stories and props stuff. I agree. Yeah. Everyone. Man, people just have fun on the internet again. I don't know. Okay. So. Gonna put you away. And ones, I think I'm gonna wrap it up for now. This was like a weird split type of live stream, but I'm starting to get a little bit more comfortable live streaming, and I hope that in the future I will be better and not rambling. So thank you so much for watching. Anyone who's watching this after the fact, I really appreciate you existing and contributing to the conversation, especially you, Bin of Trash. And I want to shout out. I want to give a shout out to Bin of Trash and Exoterrace, and Chlorine and Brim for making this a super really engaging and cool live stream where I could just bounce off a conversation from you guys. Makes live streaming so much easier when I can look at chat and engage with somebody. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, like, yeah, streamers are huge multitaskers. Tons of rambling. Also, anyone else who's watching, I encourage you to go check out my Discord. You can find it in the description of this video. I will add it retroactively. I'm gonna add it in after I finish the stream. And probably edit the stream down a bit. And then also, you can find it in my latest video, and I'm also gonna add it in the bio. I'm just really promoting this Discord thing because I love the community that's building up on my Discord. It's really fun to talk to everybody there.
My art references moving forward.
No.
Lastly, I apologize for disappointing members of my community with my
Omnia, be
miscommunications
quiet.
and absent-mindedness. I didn't realize the way
Okay, sorry, let me just close this window. Okay, so that's gonna wrap up my live stream. Thank you so much for existing. Bye.